Hi, I'm Pykno, and today I'll be sharing my first impressions of the just released a couple of hours ago new FL Studio 12 beta. This is the first beta. The previous version was in alpha, so this is just me going to be waffling through the settings and things. I have literally just fired it up. I did previously just start it up to see that it doesn't crash and so on, but this is what you're presented with when you initially open the new beta. As you can see, the layout obviously is still the same, but essentially the way the UI is generated has changed. It used to be bitmaps and now it is vector based, which means if you're using a larger resolution screen, FL Studio will be able to scale to your screen size, and like with bitmaps, if you scale an image, you start dragging it out. It's like taking a little icon and just making it bigger by stretching the picture. You lose resolution, and with this new, not new, other companies do that as well, but with FL Studio now being vector based, it means you can use a very high resolution screen or stretch your workspace over multiple screens and you won't lose resolution. Pretty sure that explanation wasn't quite right, but there you go. So you end up with this plugin picker initially. Generators, effects, I'm assuming that's FL native ones, kind of the stuff that would show up in the plugin picker from FL Studio 11. That's FL native ones, and installed is obviously all your separate ones. I have some additional VST, so installed is going to be separate VSTs. That's all the FL versions, like I said earlier. VST3, normal full VSTs, and it seems that's the effects. But for some of the reason, these instruments and the effects as well, I guess you'll be able to group that at some point and take them out of this list, because you can actually modify these lists. They did actually discuss that on the forums a while back. Right, and then current project history. That's quite interesting. That I'm pretty sure that used to be in the normal list of things in the browser in the previous version. There it is, current projects. These current projects. I generally ungroup the browser audio samples starting with an A. It's nice and convenient up top. So first things first, change to small. The font's a little bit smaller. You'll notice the actual fonts have changed as well. I think they're a bit clearer. Quite good. Group, ungroup, boom. Audio up the top, magic. Nice. Playlist. Don't think much has changed there. So normal draw tool, paint tool. Nothing's been there. Delete, mute, clip editing, cutting, selection. Obviously do control as well. Zoom in, zoom out. Playback wig. Scroll or scrub play area. Patterns. Audio editing. That's all pretty normal. There. And I remember that there was in FL11 and prior, these were up to a certain point, they were this size and then got small, which is a bit of a pain because you've got to manually undo these as far as I'm aware. Go further than that. Bit of a pain. Hope there's undo that or to band all of them, to all of the tracks to a certain size. It looks like very much the same as to what the FL11 version was. Mixer channel. This is where all the good stuff is happening. FL12, as far as I'm concerned. Like you can see, absolutely stock setup, stock full samples that it usually opens with. That's what the new sampler looks like. Now I did see previews of these on the FL forum, of course, but seeing it face to face like that, that's a different story altogether. That's very nice. Sample browser is, well, the sample representation is a lot bigger and a lot clearer than what it used to be. All the other settings are exactly the same. However, I believe this little bit used to be stuck down the bottom, and then obviously your sample down there in a small little window, but everything else same. These descriptions have slightly changed. Mono used to be mono. Not sure what those two are. They're probably the first two above resample and FL11, above or below. Okay. That might just be a naming issue for now. Or it could be that, because I know Elastic, I think Z-Plane or something like that, is a company that supplies some of these algorithms. I don't know why they named like that. Either way, doesn't matter. Moving right along. Back to the mixer. Sorry, got off track there. One of the big things with the FL12 mixer that a lot of people were asking for were group fader adjustments. So that is finally here. Control, Shift, Select. Ooh, sorry. Shift and drag. This is going well. Control, Shift, and then click, select, click, select, click, select, click, select. And now you can move all the volume faders of those selected ones together. The only bummer with that is, even though they're all selected, right click, reset. Oh, well, let's try it this way. Right click, reset. It resets only one. You have to reset that way manually. Good times. The other cool thing you'll notice down here as well is the little cables that it's showing to where a particular channel is linked to. So this one is obviously linked out to the scenes. The scenes, by the way, has been moved on. The scenes used to be part of the 100 tracks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 99 tracks. Now you've got 99 separate tracks, a separate master, and separate scenes. The reason the scenes were left in is due to legacy project compatibility. So if you used scenes in previous versions, your projects should open just fine in the new version of FL12. The other thing that's quite nice is because of the fact that it's vector based, the mixer can actually dynamically change. So we'll Control Shift and left click, left click, left click, left click, and we'll group all of these together, create group, ramp, and we'll leave that blank for now. You see it's actually added in two little dividers there. I also believe that you can now group a little bit easier. So if you wanted, so let's say that as, for instance, drums. I love me some derms. Interesting. So that has renamed all of that. So little tip, don't rename stuff when all of it's selected. So we'll rename again, leave it blank. Oh, bugger. That's good. This is going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Simply because I didn't really use grouping in previous versions of FL, and simply because now that there's a better visual representation of the groups, I may actually start using it. So let's quickly see how we do that. I'm guessing it'll be there. Dock 2, no. So you can actually move the groups around. Channel routing, track routing, that's what we're after. Route selected to this track. Select a track, so you can actually reverse route, which wasn't possible in the previous version. Actually, let's create submix. We'll call that drums. See what it does now. Right. Okay, so it takes that first channel, calls it drums, drums master, and it renames all of these things as well. So that's again something that's gonna need to be learned, me in any way. But as you can see now, you've got drums master that's linking out to there, and also linking out to all the scenes. By default, the scenes are 0. So that's cool. But now all of those are linked back to the drums, which is quite cool. That's very nice. Geez, that's tiny. I probably won't ever be using that one. Compact 1, compact 2. Actually, what happens if you go compact 1 and add the waveform view? Too bad. Yeah, I wouldn't use compact 1. I don't personally use the waveform view either, so that's probably what I'll be using, just standard wide. That's for my liking. That's well over the top, but then again, this kind of sizing is very much akin to what you get in things like Sonar. Since their X series, their mixers are quite wide. The mixer channel things, extra large. Actually, that's even more akin to what Sonar is like. Notice something there. These little slots. Oh, get that. That's quite nifty. You've got like a little representation of your slots sitting right there, kind of similar to what Reaper and those kinds of things do. I believe Pro Tools has a similar type of setup, but that's actually just by default like that. You don't actually have an additional expansion there. Mind you, Logic does that as well, and it's Inspector, which is kind of situated there, and which is similar to this kind of thing. But that is very nice. Quick access, and you can go in and click it and go out. Cool. There's obviously the plugin settings, which is not going to work for native stuff. You quickly add in something else. Oh, and you can actually add plugins from here as well. So I wonder if you can hide this thing. What would that be called? View. So that's the compact plugin list. That's very nice. I like that. There's the top. Track inspector. So that's supposed to be called the track inspector. Obviously, you can't hide that, but all right, that's fine. Biggie. That's changed. As soon as you drag over the little built-in channel mixer, your icon changes. Right. Not much of a real difference. Anywho, let's just quickly add a plugin. I have pre-scanned my plugins as well. The other thing I noticed is if you haven't got your plugin set up in the browser yet, which is this fella, yeah, that guy. If you haven't taken any of your own third-party plugins and installed them there, they don't actually show up in this list anywhere. So you can either add it by click browse plugin database, which is that fella there. We started at the beginning, and then go to effects, VSTs, and what shall we pull in? Just for the funny. Let's notice something interesting. Oh, there it is. Sorry, my bad. Dimension expander, so drag, drop. In case you don't know, that is a little plugin made by Steve Duda, and it's free, and it is essentially the dimension expander from Massive, which is quite nice to be able to use externally to other on other synths and stuff. It's a little bit more leery than what the general dimension expander is. So where I would usually have it like that in Massive itself, I might actually pull the weight down to about there, push up the size just a smidgen. So it's kind of, the settings aren't exactly the same, but does the trick either way. That's not really what I'm interested. I am interested in the plugin settings window. So now we used to have 4 tabs there. Now it's 2. I can't for the life of me remember what the other tabs were, but no matter. So settings. Oh, that was the 4th tab. When your plugin crashes, it has like a little red thing that it used to say there. MIDI, that used to be on the first page, I believe. That used to be, that's first page as well. And processing, that was second page. Not much has changed there. It's just the layout that's changed a tiny bit. I do quite like the new graphics, to be quite honest, because it is a little bit clearer to read. Yeah. Now, I used to have snaps set up in the first, second and third window in the browser, which was 1, 2, 3. 1 was total reset, like that. 2 went to my own samples, and 3, I believe, opened up my drums. So, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I do think these could potentially be changed. No. So 1, 2, 3 on your keyboard is frozen, and you'll need to set up snaps for yourself in your own setup. What you might like for shortcut keys. Else has changed. That changed the view between patterns, just the old school step stuff, and the piano roll. Speaking of piano roll, let's have a look. See, odd. Wonder why that's there. Two really tiny keyboard, really big keyboard. Tiny, big, tiny, big. You can tell it's late at night here. Okay, so slide and water for FL Studio native plugins. What have we got? That is your tools section, I believe. From this subsection, it just from the menu, they just directly accessible. I can't recall if it's actually directly accessible from in FL Studio 11. I assume it was. Never really noticed it. Amps. That's your chord helper, isn't it? Used to be called a chord helper. Chord or something. Let's change a bit. Assume you'll be able to also, again, same as with the previous versions, just drop in a definition file essentially of the scales and so on, and they'll show up here. I believe these are just, each section here is directory. Feel right. Change there. Snaps. That guy there. That's all the same. In obviously mono paint. So as you can see, you can't actually override. If you hit a note anywhere else, it just does single notes. So that is obviously for baselines. It's quite handy, as it says in the little toolbar. Baseline sequencer mode. That's cool. Not sure I'd ever use that though. Drum sequencer mode. Okay, so that's all just little individual hits like that. I don't know if you can stretch them out. Point and dragging it out for drum sequence, but interesting. So I'm wondering if, yeah, okay, so the drum sequencer special menu thing is attached to your settings, your snap settings. That is hella handy. I'll definitely be using that. Shortcut key N. Was that in FL Studio 11? I don't know. Delete notes, mute notes, slice notes, and pretty much the rest of the stuff same as what the playlist is. For that guy. Yeah, that guy. That's cool. Really, I like that. Okay. I have no idea how long this video has been going for. It's probably way too bloody long. So, quick recap. Yay! Very nice stuff going on with the mixer. I probably won't use extra large, even though that plug and pick a thing, that is hella fancy. I mean, that's really nice, but it's kind of pointless considering that you can't get rid of that, in my opinion. I would say if you have the option to go extra large, as soon as you go extra large, do something with that. I don't know, fold it away or something. Obviously, like I said earlier, the shift, click, shift, left click, selecting of channels. Oh, come on, you bugger. There we go. Very nicely done. Really like that. But I still think I'm just going to use the wide. Like I say, is that stuck there? Yeah. So that has been my first impression. Now, obviously, I'll do some more videos as the weeks progress, where I go through actually using this and seeing if I can, if it's weird or bad or good or whatever. I have a feeling it's going to be really good. Initially, probably a little bit confusing. Everything that used to be in FL Studio 11 is still there. A couple of extra bits have been added, and yeah, catch you in the next video. Bye.